Hey everyone, Avalon here. I want to talk a little bit about advocacy. Advocating for what I want in my world is very important to me. I would prefer to do that than to perhaps fight against something. Instead, I want to advocate for two very important things right now. One of those is called my personal freedom. And the second one would be considered advocating for no harm to any sentient or living being. Those two things are very, very important to me. Currently, we are in the midst of what I would consider one of the more dangerous situations that we as the people of the planet can be on. And there are different ways to advocate that are not so much consistent with going down to the police station and in my town watching the police shoot the other police across the road to get a fight going. Instead, I choose to advocate in different ways. One of the ways I advocate for my freedom is that I don't do any Facebook, social media, except for YouTube. And I give on that one because I'm not really hot for Google. I'm not really hot for any entity, government, corporation, or anything that is going to take away any of my basic rights, the main right being do no harm to any living creature as best as possible, especially humans. The other one is going to be, like I said before, freedom. Because without freedom, say for instance, I'm free of COVID-19. However, am I really free? Or am I a slave in my own home as I socially isolate instead of safely distance? What do? These are different ways you can do it, like with Facebook. I'm not real happy with the fact that Facebook is right out there in front of everybody. It's not a big surprise that me or you, when you go to get a job, your Facebook profile will be watched. When you're getting insurance, when you're getting a new boyfriend or girlfriend, or even a friend. There are so many ways the CIA, FBI, any entity of government can get any information from a Facebook page. And I personally don't believe that that is something I want out there. Instead, I choose not to participate because I'm private. And I want to remain free and unharmed. Next thing it would be that I advocate by not going into Zoom and doing everything again so that Google and everybody else can watch everything we talk about. We don't have to wear masks, and we don't have to be together at all, but everything we do or talk about on the internet is going to be monitored. Kind of like the new app that's going to trace us for, of course, the deadly virus, where I found out today that out of the millions of people that live in Texas, there have been a total of, oh my God, we must all go back to wearing masks and stuff again, that are very unhealthy, by the way. I'll get to that. Because we've had 4,197 deaths since this started. Subtract that from the millions of people in my state, and let's just say the numbers are not adding up for deaths. Maybe we've got COVID-19, but we don't have a death. And that's more what I'm concerned about, is death. So, my next stance would be, I'm not going to Zoom. I'm not going to do meetup.com. I'm not going to go to the eBay marketplace or Amazon, especially marketplace, and start to market masks. That's buying into something for the future. And people will buy into that and will actually perhaps get stocks. As we muzzle ourselves with our masks, we rebreathe our own carbon dioxide that should go out to a tree or a plant and come back into us as pure oxygen. We're also rebreathing bacteria and all types of viruses, and it's totally counterproductive scientifically. As a matter of fact, Fauci, that doctor from the CDC, he lied and said masks were not working. And then suddenly he said they were. And this whole thing has been, to me, an untruth. And so that's harming me. a sentient living being. That's harming plants, that's harming animals, that's harming a lot of things. So there again, I'm not going to advocate a mask. So now I can't go to the grocery. Now I can't go to the Circle K convenience store without putting a mask on. You know, more and more I'm seeing with a tracking device. More and more I'm seeing wearing a muzzle in a line, a bread line. I'm seeing my freedoms go away. And I'm seeing the moral right and wrong division called harming me. Because a mask can harm us all. Because we can't rebreathe our germs. That's not how it works on this planet. I'm not exactly sure what the issue is, but there's been lots of people in the streets, very close together with masks on, protesting police violence, which has not stopped. As a matter of fact, my daughter-in-law was beaten up. She had been kidnapped, drugged, kidnapped, and thrown into a dark alley, and the police beat her up and didn't ask why she was in an alley. She has multiple bruises all over her. Again, that's harming another sentient living being with no recourse because they have qualified immunity. So I make this video to say there's a lot of ways that we, the people, can advocate for our freedom and for our lives without going on a street with Molotov cocktails so we can get martial law with our military police. And I have time to do research, and I've been able to pay my rent. But when they stop that, there's going to be a lot of people that never expected that they'd ever in a million years be homeless. And that's a concern for me. That's harming people and their lives. And now we have this second wave of bullshit coming in again. So I suggest with your mask, do not get a cloth one. Get one that's paper. And clip the sides so you have air underneath, okay? So you're still blocking, you're still compliant. And write on it what you want. Fuck you, or I agree, or nothing. And remember to remove it every 15 to 20 minutes because it will become deadly after that because it gathers bacteria and viruses because it's warm and moist once you breathe in and out of it. Don't buy into masks. That's putting stock into that. Don't buy into social media and Zoom. That's buying into socially distancing. And lastly, as a good Scorpio, and I hope you hung on this long, really? Are you really willing to never have sex or make love again? For a virus that is killing 4,147 people out of millions and millions of people in Texas. Just do your math. It doesn't add up. And with that being said, there's just a few ideas to do some advocacy for our freedom, for our right to not be harmed. Because that's the true division, is right and wrong. That's harming a sentient being in any way, shape, or form. And what good is it to be safe without a virus if you don't have freedom? That would be called a slave. Anyway, that's the world according to Outline.